variables and measurement scale, they always go hand in hand. Why this way? Because whenever you conduct any study, you have to define the variables and you have to define the measurement scale. Suppose I say that age is my variable. I have to define how I want to measure age, whether I want to measure age as a qualitative parameter or quantitative parameter. Means whether I want to measure age as kids or children, young adults and old people, or I want to put it as a numbers. Okay, 10 years, 30 years, 70 years, what way I want to put it. Okay, based on that, you will have collection of data, application of test, because there are different kind of tests which are different for different kind of scales. So each scale will have different test. The type of test, applicability of test of significance. Why are you conducting a research? Because you want to find out solution to your research problem. How will you find out solution to research problem? By collecting a data. For collection of data, what is required? You require variables. How you measure that variables, or how those variables are measured in quantitative parameters or qualitative parameters. So if it is quantitative, the test will be different. If it is qualitative, the test will be different. Okay. So based on the type of data you have, the variables you have, the measurement will scales will fall in that place. And based on that, you will decide what kind of test is applicable for your research problem. And then you will apply that test, you will get the result, you will interpret it, and you will have inference of that research study. Hence, the measurement scales are very important. You use any software, whether it is Excel. Excel is not software, it is we are using on a day-to-day basis, or other research softwares like SPSS you have, Minitab you have, R software. These are the softwares which are used for statistical analysis. You use any software, you have to first define, before entry of data, you have to define variables and you have to define the measurement scale, whether it is used as a qualitative measurement scale or quantitative measurement scale. Now, if you see, we have 4 measurement scale. And these are 4 measurement scale applicable for all the studies. Your study parameters, your variables will measured on any of these 4 scales. OK, so your variable will be measured either on nominal scale, interval scale, ordinal scale, or ratio scale. Right. So if you see the scales which are left hand side, these are nominal and ordinal scale. So first scale is nominal scale, second scale is ordinal scale, third scale is interval scale, and fourth scale is ratio scale. One by one, we'll see in detail what are these scales. First is nominal or classificatory scale. So it is a simple scale. It is the most basic form of scale. Now, if I say there are 10 students in this class, or if I classify you people as PhD scholars of July 2022 batch, this is just a simple classification, and that is a nominal scale. Means I am classifying you. I am classifying you 12 people based on your class. What class? PhD batch of July 2022. That is the your classification. Did I say that PhD batch of July 22 is inferior to January batch, or January batch is superior to you, or you are superior to January batch? I am not putting any comment. I am just classifying the PhD scholars based on July batch, January batch, July 2022 batch, July 21 batch, January 21 batch. That way I am classifying the students. Further, I am not doing anything. Now, when I am maintaining record, I am maintaining record. First way is simplifying, simple record, basic record, that is batch, based on a batch, and that is a nominal scale. So in my Excel, I have your record as July 2022 batch, simple classification. Now, if I classify your batch as 6 males and 6 females. So what is happening here? I am just saying that there are 6 females and 6 males in this class. Did I comment any further that the males are superior than females, or females are superior than males, or females are more attentive than males, or males are more attentive? I am not doing any comment. I am not classifying you. Means I am not subclassifying you. I have just classified your batch into just males and females. I am not giving any ranking. Did I say that one is superior than inferior? Females are superior than males. I am not saying that way. I am just classified your batch. I am saying that yours is July 2022 PhD batch and these are females and these are males. So this is basic simple classification and that is called as a nominal class. So there are no ranks. There are no grades. It is just simple classification. And when you have a simple classification, that is called as a nominal or classificatory scale. A nominal scale enables the classification of individuals. You are individuals, objects or responses based on a common or shared property. What is a common or shared property or characteristics for you? You all belong to one batch. See, you are somebody's from Rajasthan, someone is joined from Delhi, someone has joined from Mumbai, someone has joined from Madhya Pradesh. But what is common in you? You belong to this particular batch. You belong to July 2022 batch, PhD batch. That is the common or shared property. So based on that, we are classifying. So what is the nominal scale? It enables the classification of individual, you as an individual or population or objects or responses based on a common property, shared property or characteristics. That is the nominal scale. It is not a measure of quantity. I am not bothered about quantity. I am just classifying you. It measures identity and differences. When I am saying there are 6 males and 6 females, what impression goes out? That there are equal gender distribution among this class. That's it. There are equal number of males and females in this class. Or so it's measure identity and differences. These are males, these are females, right? People either belong to a group or they do not. Out of 12, suppose I pick up one person, either that person will male or female. He will belong to a class, he will belong to a scale of male or he will belong to a, or a female. So I pick up one person that will be either male or female, cannot be both. Right? So the people either belong to a group or they do not. Means suppose I classify PhD scholars based on batch, either you will belong to July 2020 batch or you will not. Right? So that is the meaning of people either belong to a group or not. It is category. There are categories. Categories means if I group it based on gender, it is dichotomous category. If I divide you based on your religion, it is polytomous category. If I divide you based on the state from which you have come, it is again polytomous category. People are from different states. So it is always categorical. If you see the example and qualitative, definitely it is a qualitative in nature. When I say gender, it is a qualitative, male, female. Your state from which you have come. It may be Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, any. There are so many states in India. You may belong to any state. OK, you are male or female, right? So I have just divided it based on certain common characteristics. Examples, eye color. Suppose I divide your batch based on eye color. Some are blue colored, brown color, green colored, etc. Gender, male or female. Then married, single, divorced, widowed. So it is just a classification. You are classifying that particular group based on certain common characteristics. And when you classify that based on certain characteristic, it becomes your nominal or classificatory scale. OK, there are no doubts. So we will move to next level of scale. That is ordinal scale or ranking scale. Now in this first scale, that is nominal or classificatory scale, what we had just classification, basic simple classification. There was no ranking. There was no superiority or inferiority. There is no order. OK, ascending order or descending order. There was no order. But when you move to next level, it's an ordinal scale. There is an order. It's a ranking scale. There is ranking. Suppose I conduct exam for your batch on research methodology. I give you question paper, you write question paper, you give it back to me and I assess the papers. And I can rank your batch based on the marks received from the person who received highest mark to person who received lowest mark. So person who will receive highest mark, I will rank that person as rank 1. And the person who will receive lowest mark, I will rank that person as rank 12. So you have ranking from 1 to 12. You have an order. So rank number 1 is superior in terms of knowledge on research methodology as compared to rank 12. rank 12 will have lowest knowledge as compared to other ranks. Rank 1 will have highest knowledge as compared to other ranks. So there is an order. There is natural order. Okay. Natural order means what? If I put your marks on a board, anybody can say that who is superior in terms of studying research methodology, because I have conducted specifically on research methodology on particular topic. So who is superior for that particular topic? That order is given. But for nominal scale, there is no natural order or ranking. In case of nominal scale, how I classified you based on gender. Can you say that males are superior than females or females are superior than males? It is not written anywhere. Scientifically, it is not accepted. Nobody will accept that if you once say that females are superior than males. No one will accept. It is not a natural order. Okay, it is order given by you, but it is not acceptable scientifically. But here in case of the second example, that is ordinal or ranking example. That is I took exam for your batch on coursework lecture, suppose variables, and I give certain marks. Based on marks, if I rank you from 1 to 12, so that is a natural order. The person who got highest mark will be rank 1. The person who got lowest mark will be rank 12. This is natural order accepted by everyone, all the scientific communities. Nobody will deny its presence. And when there is natural order, natural ranking, it is called as ordinal scale or ranking scale. An ordinal scale has all the properties of nominal scale, because whenever you are ordering something, whenever you are ranking something, first you classify it. So I have classified you as a PhD batch of July 2022. Then I taught you on variables. I prepared question paper, gave it to you, you answered, you give back to me, I give you numbers, marks, and I arrange it in a order. Means what happened? I classified you, I used nominal scale, and then I ranked you. So I move to next scale, that is ranking scale or ordinal scale. So now it is a ordinal scale. Means my ordinal scale will have all the properties of nominal scale because it is basic or classificatory scale. And apart from that, I have added something, that is I have ordered it. I have ranked it. And when I'm ordering, when I'm ranking it, it becomes our ordinal scale or ranking scale. And that ranks have a natural order. So what is ordinal scale? Has all the properties of nominal scale. What are those properties? Categorizing individuals, objects or responses. OK, maybe it is a population or some objects or some responses you have taken based on your questionnaire, or a property into subgroups on the basis of common characteristics. So definitely in classificatory or nominal scale, you have just basic classification, but also rank the subgroups in certain order. And that ranking is what? Greater than or less than. Means ascending order or descending order. I put order from rank 1 to rank 12, or I can put order from rank 12 to rank 1. Anything is acceptable. OK, the order doesn't matter. From order, what you come to know? Who got highest mark, who got lowest mark, who is superior in terms of research methodology study, and who is inferior. That order you got. The ordinal level of measurement describe variables that can be ordered or ranked in some order of importance. So order of importance. This is important order. The person who got highest mark, the person who studied the most, the person who has most knowledge about the subject got rank 1. The person who did not study, the person who got lowest rank is rank number 12. So there is some order, some ranking, and order of importance. It has some importance. When you give exam, that order of importance is important. Finishing place in race. Suppose during sports festival, if we arrange a race for your batch, so somebody will first, somebody will 12th on the rank 12th. Does it have meaning? Yes, only rank number 1 will get the prize. Others won't. Right? So rank number 12 won't get any prize. OK, so only prize is given to rank number 1. Based on what? Because he ran the fast. Because he completed that particular area in less time as compared to rank number 2 or rank number 12. So he will be given the prize for that particular ceremony or for that particular race. Right? That is ordinal or ranking scale. So we'll move to interval scale. Now interval scale is what? It has all the properties of these two scales are categorical scales, nominal scale and ordinal scale. Generally data is qualitative data. OK, so data do not fall many times into numbers. It has an order, it has a ranking, ascending order, descending order. OK, so it is more in terms of categories, nominal and ordinal scale. while interval scale and ratio scale is a continuous scale. Continuous means there are actual fraction of numbers, number in terms of fractions, 10.2, age, okay, income, temperature, all these fall under interval scale, and next is ratio scale. So now we are discussing about continuous scale or interval and ratio scale. First is interval scale. So interval means what? There are meaningful intervals. There are equal intervals. Means it has all the properties of what nominal scale. You are classifying it. Simple basic classification. You order it. You are ordering or ranking. But apart from that, there are meaningful distances between two gaps. For example, if you take example of temperature. Temperature is what? Temperature, you classify it. Higher temperature, lower temperature, basic classification. You order it. You will start from 0 to positive and 0 to negative. So you have classified the extreme temperature. If you move from 0 to 50 degrees centigrade, the temperature will keep on increasing. If you move from 0 to minus 50 degrees centigrade, the temperature will go down. Okay, means there are intervals from 0 to 1 degree. Whatever is the gap between 0 to 1 degree, exactly the same gap is present between 1 to 2 degree. Means with whatever effect or the whatever is the effect when temperature move from 0 to 1, there will be exactly same effect when temperature moves from 1 to 2 in terms of magnitude. I am talking in terms of magnitude. OK, but here mathematical calculations are not possible. Mathematical manipulations are not possible. Means what? You cannot have ratios. Ratios means what? You cannot have absolute zero here. Means you cannot say that 60-degree temperature is 2 times higher than 30-degree temperature. You can just say that 60-degree temperature is higher than 30 degrees centigrade. You cannot have 60 divided by 30 or 30 divided by 60. Nothing is possible. Ratio is not possible. Why? Because zero is arbitrary. Whenever you talk in terms of temperature, zero is not absolute zero. Why absolute zero? Suppose I say I have 0 rupees in my pocket. What does it mean? Mean I do not have any paisa in my pocket. I do not have any money in my pocket. I have zero money. It's a ratio scale, full scale. OK, but if I say it's a zero temperature, do you mean that there is no temperature? There is temperature. Zero is what? It is arbitrary point. It is designed by humans to understand that the temperature at which water converts into ice, that is a 0-degree temperature. But it is arbitrary point. It is not absolute zero. You cannot say that zero temperature means no temperature. Zero temperature is there is some temperature. If you put your hand in a liquid or if you touch to area where there is 0-degree temperature, you will feel cold. So you cannot say that there is no temperature. There is some temperature. There is some temperature, and that arbitrary point is defined by the human beings for ease to know when the particular points are achieved. The point at which water turns into ice. OK, so this is an arbitrary point. Hence, mathematical manipulations are not possible. You cannot say that 60 degrees 2 times higher or 30 degrees 2 times higher to 15 degrees centigrade. It is not possible. You can say that 60 degrees higher as compared to 30 degrees centigrade or 15 degrees centigrade. But you cannot have ratios 2 times. When I say 2 times means what? 60 divided by 30. 30 is equal to 2. OK, or 30 divided by 60. 1:2. These ratios are not possible in case of interval scale. OK, so ratios are possible only in ratio scale, but not in interval scale. So that is the interval scale. And best example is your temperature. So what is interval scale? Has all the characteristics of ordinal scale. Ordinal scale has all the characteristics of nominal scale. Means it has all the characteristics of nominal scale, means classification. It will classify. It will order. It will rank. Here I have ranked temperature higher to lower. OK, or positive to negative. You can rank it. That is individuals or responses belonging to subcategory have a common characteristic, that is nominal scale, and the subcategories are arranged in ascending or descending order. So you can arrange temperature in ascending or descending order. Higher temperature and lower temperature, positive temperature and negative temperature. In addition, what extra interval scale has? In addition, an interval scale uses a unit of measurement. There is unit of measurement that enables the individuals or responses to be placed at equally spaced intervals. So that is a characteristic. Why it is called as equal interval scale? Because all the responses, all the findings, they are placed at the equal interval. whatever interval is present between 1 to 2 degrees centigrade, exactly the same interval is present between 2 to 3 degrees centigrade, between 3 to 4 degrees centigrade. So responses are equally placed. This scale has a starting and terminating point and is divided into equally spaced units. So it is equally spaced units. So if there are 10 units, they're equally spaced 1 to 10 degree. So all are equally spaced. Meaningful interval. Interval between 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, that is meaningful. That is equal. OK, there is equality. The starting and terminating points and the number of units or intervals between them are arbitrary and vary from scale to scale. So I already told you 0 is arbitrary here. When I say I have zero money in my pocket, means I do not have money in my pocket. I cannot go out and buy something. It is not possible. I cannot buy a bus ticket. I cannot fuel my bike or car. I cannot buy something. I cannot take tea. Nothing is possible when I have zero money in my pocket. Or suppose I have zero money in my pocket and my friend has 100 rupees in my pocket. Or if I have 1 rupees in my pocket and my friend has 100 rupees in his pocket. What you will say? My friend is 100 times richer than me because he has 100 rupees in pocket. But when you say the temperature of room A is 20 degrees centigrade and temperature of room B is 40 degrees centigrade, you cannot say room number B is 2 times hotter than room A. You can just say that the temperature is on higher side in room B as compared to room A. But ratios are not possible. Ratios are not feasible because 0 is arbitrary. It is not full scale. Mathematical manipulations. What are mathematical manipulations? Summation. OK, then product. OK, division. All these are mathematical calculations. When you divide something. OK, when you have a product 3 into 4 or 4 divided by 2. That is division. That is mathematical manipulation. That is not possible in case of interval scale. That is possible only in case of ratio scale, which we are going to discuss now after this. So the starting and terminating points and the number of units or intervals between them are arbitrary and vary from scale to scale. So it is arbitrary. Starting point is arbitrary. Designates an equal interval ordering. So intervals are equal. There is no doubt that intervals are equal. The interval level of measurement describe variables that have more or less equal intervals or meaningful distances between their ranks. The distance between two ranks is meaningful. Right. So that meaningful distance is important in case of interval scale. That meaningful interval, rather you say meaningful interval. What are examples? Temperature in Fahrenheit or Celsius is interval. So I just give you example. So temperature, whether it is in Celsius or Fahrenheit, it doesn't matter. It is interval scale because 0 is arbitrary. Common IQ tests are assumed to be an interval metric. So IQ test, again, these are the two classic examples of interval scale, temperature and IQ, whatever IQ values we get, again, those are measured on interval scale.
So, internal scale has all properties of ordinal and nominal also, no? Because ordinal has properties of nominal.
Very true.
Okay.
So temperature, like I will say you, temperature means I am classifying you, classifying that particular phenomenon. Suppose I say I have a room, I have classified two experiments based on the temperature. One experiment is conducted at plus 50 degrees centigrade, other experiment is conducted at minus 50 degrees centigrade. So what is a common characteristic? Here common characteristic, that is nominal scale or classifying scale, is the temperature. Whether it is higher or lower, it doesn't matter. We are not saying that the experiment which is done at 50 degrees centigrade is superior than an experiment which is done at minus 50 degrees centigrade. I am not saying that. I am just classifying. I am saying that one experiment is done at 50 degree, other is at minus 50. Means I have just classified that experiment based on the temperature. Ordinal means if I get some order result, then if I put into ranks, like as for experiment in room A has certain values and experiment B has certain values, and if it has a natural logical thinking or logical order, then only I can say it has an ordinal scale or the property of ordinal scale. OK, so there should be some ranking in terms of what? The rank number 1 should have a some justifiable rank as compared to rank number 12 or rank whatever rank, X rank. So Y rank, if you say is higher, it should have some scientifically justifiable natural order for that particular rank. Moving to next, ratio scale. Now, if you say nominal scale, it is the very basic scale. It is a classificatory scale. And if you say ratio scale, it is the highest scale. It is the absolute scale. Absolute means what? The zero means zero. Under ratio scale, zero means zero. It has a mathematical value of zero. It is not arbitrary value. What is difference between stats and maths? In statistical, we have some possibilities. When we conduct any kind of research project, we talk in terms of hypothesis and possibilities. Suppose I conduct one research project. I select p-value of 0.05. Means what I want to say, whatever findings I have given for my study, I am 95% confident that those are correct. But at the same time, I am accepting that there is 5% possibility of error in that. So statistics says what? Statistics will always say you about the probability of occurrence, probability of accuracy, probability of preciseness of your study. So all the studies, whether you take any study, for all the studies, you have the probability p-value. You must have gone through this. All of you must be aware p-value is taken for your study. So it is alpha error. Alpha error means the possibility of error in your study. You cannot have 100% sure about the results of your study. You are only 95%, 99%, 98% sure. You take alpha error or you take type 1 error for your study as generally we take 5%, right? So what is that 5%? We are 5% not confident about results of my study. 5% there is possibility of error, or there is possibility of 5% error in my study, but 95% it is accurate. Mathematics will never say this. Mathematics will either say 100% or 0%. So that is mathematics. So mathematics, zero is always absolute zero. It is not arbitrary zero. The ratios means if you say 4 divided by 2, that is meaningful, is equal to 2, which is not possible for interval scale. Right? Means suppose I have 1 rupee in my pocket and my friend has 100 rupees in his pocket. All of you will say, entire world will say, entire scientific community will say, my friend is 100 times richer than me. There is no doubt. It is mathematics. Right? But if you give me 1 rupees and if you give 100 rupees to my friend, and if you ask me to ask both of us to do something out of it, in future it might happen that my friend will lose all 100 rupees, and out of this 1 rupees I might earn 100 or 1000, right? So that is a probability. When I talk in terms of probability, that becomes statistics. So in statistics, it is not absolute. So similarly, ratio scale, it is always absolute scale. All mathematical manipulations are possible. Why it is called as a ratio? Ratios are meaningful. 4 divided by 2 is always 2, or 2 divided by 4 is always half, or 1 by 2. Means ratios are meaningful, right? Suppose if I have a study population and one group I select, or if I have a people from your batch, or if I select 2 people from your batch, 2 scholars from your batch, one is of suppose 60 years old and one is 30 years. Anybody will say that the person who is 60 years old is 2 times older, or the person who is 30 years old is 2 times younger than the person who is 60 years old. And this is scientifically correct statement. There is no any other possibility. There is no subjectivity. It is true in terms of mathematics. Ratios are correct. Ratios are possible because your zero is absolute zero. It is not arbitrary zero. So ratio scale is always absolute scale or full scale. So nominal scale is the most basic scale and ratio scale is the most absolute scale or highest scale or full scale, because ratios are possible. Ratios have meaning. Zero is not arbitrary. Zero is absolute zero. OK, and it is always quantitative. This is a quantitative scale. So what is this? Ratio scale has all the properties of nominal, ordinal and interval scale. Definitely it will have all the properties of nominal, ordinal and interval scale. Apart from that, what it has absolute zero. That is the addition of ratio scale. It has there is possibility of all mathematical manipulations. All mathematical manipulation means plus, minus, product, division. All these things are possible in case of, and these are meaningful. Just now I give you example of years, age. OK, so all that is possible in case of ratio scale, right? Therefore, it is an absolute scale means, and it has a see, it has all the properties of nominal, ordinal, interval scale, and it also has a starting point fixed at 0. Everything is fixed at 0. 0 means 0, absolutes. It is starting point is 0, right? Therefore, it is an absolute scale. The difference between the interval is always measured from a 0 point. This means the ratio scale can be used for mathematical operations. Just now I told you mathematical operations. So plus, minus, product, division, all these are mathematical operations and these are meaningful in case of ratio scale. The ratio level of measurement describe variables that have equal intervals and a fixed zero or a reference point. So I already told there is a fixed zero or there is a reference point. OK, means zero is meaningful zero. It is not arbitrary. It is not designed by you. In case of interval scale, temperature, zero temperature is decided by us, human being. A scientific community have decided that zero means a temperature where water is turned into ice. That is interval scale. It is not absolute zero. But in case of ratio scale, it is a mathematical scale. It is a absolute scale, full scale. Zero means zero. OK, it is absolute zero. It's a starting or reference point is zero. When the measurement have the properties of the first three scales and additional property that the ratios are meaningful. Ratios are meaningful means what? Just now I give you example 100 divided by 1 or 1 divided by 100. Like I have 1 rupees in my pocket and my friend has 100 rupees in his pocket. So he is 100 times richer or I am 100 times poorer than him. And it is true, scientifically true, mathematically true. There is no objectivity. Because ratios 100 divided by 1 or 1 divided by 100, both are meaningful ratios. Both will give us an idea. So when the measurement have the properties of first three scale and additional property that the ratios are meaningful, the scale of measurement is called as ratio scale. So income, just now I give you example about related to finance or money, 1 rupees, 100 rupees. Age of a person, I also give you example of 30, the person who is 30 years old and the person who is 60 years old. So definitely anybody you can say 30 divided by 60 or 60 divided by 30, both are meaningful. You can have either way. You can do 30 by 60 or 60 by 30. Both way you can describe and interpret and say the result. OK, so that is the ratio scale. Yes. So based on the unit of measurement. So while reading this slide, I told you that we'll come back to this slide when we will discuss about nominal, ordinal scale, interval and ratio scale. So categories. Nominal scale is what? Basic thing. Basic thing means what? We are saying gender. Based on gender, I divided your batch or based on height, based on weight. So all these are the characteristics. OK, so based on the categories I have divided. So nominal scale and ordinal scale is based. These are the categories. Or if I conduct the test, I ordered you, I ranked you. That is ordinal scale. These are the categories. That is a nominal and ordinal scale. They come under categories. So you cannot have fractions. You cannot have numbers in fractions. When you have a discrete category, separate. One is separate from two. Means there are only separate numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is called as categorical or discrete scale. When you have 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 2.2, 2.3, that is continuous scale. OK. So nominal and ordinal scale are discrete categories, discrete responses. OK, discrete variables. And continuous means interval and ratio scale. You can have 37.3 degrees centigrade. You can have 48.2 degrees centigrade. Similarly, ratio scale, you can have earning of 1.2 lakhs, 1.3 lakhs. You can have 1 rupees in your pocket. You can have 101 rupees. OK, you can 111 rupees in your pocket. So that is a ratio scale. Right? So age, it is continuously increasing. I am every minute, every second, I am getting older. All of us are getting older. So that is age. Income is also variable. It is expressed in terms of fractions. Attitude score, when we express the attitude score, that is also. So these are the continuous or measured on interval and ratio scale. So continuous variables, they are measured on interval and ratio scale. And categorical or discrete variables, they are measured on nominal or ordinal scale.